Are you? I'm so sorry. Are you part of gym staff?
I am. I am back with part 2 of my 2022 fat loss series, and this episode is going to focus on how fitness and exercise affect fat loss. In part 1, I covered nutrition, so if you missed that episode, I will link it above and below in the description box for you to check out after this video. In this video, I'm going to address the most common fitness and fat loss questions I get asked time and time again, so let's jump right in. Question number 1. How can I get rid of this belly fat, and what exercises can I do to get rid of this fat that's on the back of my arms? Okay, as for what particular exercises you can do to get rid of fat in certain areas, well, sadly, there's no such thing, but don't get too upset, just hear me out. All right, so you can't do 1,000 crunches to get rid of your belly fat, and you can't do 500 dips to get rid of the fat off the back of your arms. It just doesn't work like that. Training certain areas of the body strengthens the muscles that are underneath the fat. However, when you are exercising, you're burning calories, and that helps you to achieve the calorie deficit that is required to burn fat. Remember, for fat loss to occur, our bodies must burn more energy than is consumed. But we can't control where the fat is going to burn. And for most of us, we want the fat to go from our bellies first, and that's usually the last place it goes. So that's where patience comes in. Let's also remember that weight training will help to build muscle if done strategically, which will be a very helpful part of your weight loss journey. I incorporate the progressive overload method in my weight training routine, and I also make sure that I fulfill my daily protein requirements to ensure that I'm getting stronger and building muscle. And muscle burns more calories than fat does, so it's more metabolically active, which will help you speed your metabolism. And muscle is denser than fat, so it's smaller, it takes up less space. So as you are putting some muscle on and taking some fat off, you will notice that you will be getting smaller. I think a lot of people think that when they, put a lot of muscle on, they're gonna get bigger. And for women, that's a very hard thing to achieve. But if you're bringing your muscle up and bringing the fat down, you're most likely not going to get that much bigger. You may get smaller, just depending on exactly how it's happening. And if you're in the middle of losing fat and gaining muscle, otherwise called body recomposition, you might notice that the scale isn't changing that much because you are bringing the fat down and bringing the muscle up. So your body is changing. It's gonna start looking different, but the number on the scale might not change that much. So that's why we kind of have to not put all of our focus on the number on the scale. I really like using all the different metrics like circumference, body fat, body weight does matter a bit. It's just kind of the whole picture, and how you're looking, how you're feeling, it's everything. And lastly, let's not forget that exercise is going to keep you healthy, able-bodied, mobile. It'll help you decrease your risk of injury so that as you age, you can continue to exercise and strengthen those muscles and burn those calories. We want to age gracefully. We want to be able to do all these things as we age. And if we don't take care of our bodies, we're not going to be able to do these things, and our metabolism will slow down. Question number 2, should I create my calorie deficit by working out? Technically, it's an option. If you go from not working out to working out, yes, you're going to create a calorie deficit because you're doing something that your body is not used to. However, if you're already exercising and you have a workout routine, you need to create that calorie deficit in other ways, such as through your diet. And obviously, if you are starting to work out and it's a new thing for you, I do also recommend focusing on diet as well. I wouldn't rely on just the exercise to create the calorie deficit. I would do both because you don't want to have to try to burn so many calories at the gym to create this deficit. You want to burn some calories at the gym or doing whatever exercise you like. You want to lessen the amount of calories you take in through your food. It's everything all together, and it makes it much easier to sustain. The biggest advice I can give you in regards to this particular question is please don't try to go into the gym with this purpose of I need to burn X number of calories, or I need to burn off that piece of cake I just ate. It doesn't work like that. Don't do that. Don't torture yourself. Fitness is just one part of the whole equation. Your body actually needs time to rest, recover, and rebuild. And a lot of times, less is more. So don't start overtraining or exercising too much. You're going to burn out and you won't be able to sustain that. Exercise preserves muscle mass, increases your anaerobic and aerobic fitness, is a mood booster, and helps to prevent disease. But relying on fitness alone with no regard to nutrition, it's not going to yield any fat loss unless you're a genetic wonder. Quick personal story. In my 20s, I had a very unhealthy relationship with food, fitness, and my body. And so what I did constantly on this vicious cycle was create these very restrictive diet rules for myself. I would do them for a couple of days, then I would go crazy. I would be hungry, I would have cravings, so then I would end up binging on all these forbidden foods. So I did this over and over and over, like constantly starting over on Monday. And what ended up happening was by age 23, so young, I ended up at the heaviest weight I had ever been in my adult life. And during this time, I was actually very fit. I worked out twice a day. Like, it didn't count as a workout if I wasn't in the gym twice a day. So that's definitely excessive and an unhealthy relationship with fitness. So even though I was burning lots of calories and I was very fit and I was very strong, I still was gaining fat in addition to gaining muscle because my caloric intake was too high. I couldn't handle the crazy restriction. That is not sustainable. So it's really finding what works for you long term. So this brings me back to repeating myself. You don't want to rely on just working out alone to create your calorie deficit. You want to work out and you want to create a calorie deficit through your exercise. Now, in case you didn't know, 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. So if you wanted to create your calorie deficit just from exercising and you say wanted to lose a pound of fat in a week, you'd have to ensure that you are burning at least 500 calories a day at the gym. And that's a lot of exercising, and that's 7 days a week of working out. So that's why it's much easier to do this in a more sustainable way through your workouts and through your diet. And don't forget, like I mentioned in my last video, is that our bodies are burning calories round the clock when we're resting, when we're sleeping, when we're eating, when we're just living life, doing whatever, and while we're exercising. But we all burn them at a different rate because we are all different and we all have different amounts of muscle and fat and different size organs. And like, there's so much going on. The body is very complex. So we are all very unique. Question number 3. How do I increase my metabolism with exercise? There is no one-size-fits-all exercise program that I'm going to prescribe to you to burn fat. The most important thing you have to remember with exercising is to choose modes of exercise that you actually enjoy. If you do not like what you're doing, there goes your consistency, there goes your workout program, and you're not gonna make any progress. So if bike riding or taking group exercise classes or walking is your jam, then keep doing that. You have to focus on that first and foremost because it will ensure that you keep doing it. However, I do highly recommend that you also incorporate some form of strength training. It can be through free weights, weight machines, using your body weight, using all the toys like balls and bands. It doesn't matter what it is, just incorporate some strength training because you absolutely need to focus on building strength, building muscle, and it will also help you increase or maintain your bone density so that you do age gracefully. And like I said before, so you're able to do these things as you age. And as you get fitter and stronger, you're going to feel so much better, and it's going to enable you to have a happy and healthy and mobile life. That's what we all want. So that's why it's very important, not just the cardio, but to maintain or increase your strength. And question number 4, what exercises burn the most calories? In regards to strength training, if you do more compound movements, which means utilizing multiple joints at one time, you will burn more calories because you're incorporating several muscles and larger muscles. So examples would be chest press, pull-up, squats, lunges. These are all compound movements as opposed to isolation movements where you're only using a small group of muscles at a time, like the biceps or the triceps. Supersets are also good to do during weight training because you're working opposing muscle groups back to back. So you don't really need to rest that much in between sets. So you can keep that calorie burn going throughout your workout. So examples would be like working chest and back to back, so you don't have to rest, instead of say just working chest and then sitting there resting. It's a good method for keeping that calorie burn up if that's what you're looking for. Now, in terms of cardio, obviously the more strenuous it is, the more calories you're going to burn. But it is really hard to keep up a really high intensity for a long period of time. So you have options. You can do long duration workouts that are, say, low to moderate intensity, or you could do short duration workouts where the intensity is real high, and you can do something such as a HIIT workout, which is high intensity interval training, where you do short bursts of super high intensity exercise followed by a short recovery period, and you just kind of alternate and go back and forth. And you will burn a lot of calories during that kind of workout, but it's just shorter than, say, that like 30 to 60 minute moderate intensity workout. So in terms of calorie burnage during these cardio sessions, just take your pick. Like, it really just brings us back to doing what you enjoy, but maybe also doing what you have time for. If you're pressed for time, maybe the HIIT workout is the way to go. Lastly, another thing to keep in mind is that after a super high intensity workout, there is something called the afterburn effect. And that's just basically that after a workout, your body will continue to burn more calories. It's like a little something to help as well. So all these little things help, like adding muscle to your body. It is going to raise your metabolism because muscle burns more fat, but it's not like this huge difference. And just like the afterburn effect, it's not a huge difference, but all these little things add up, you know, like bringing your calories down a little bit. Like, you add up all these things that you're doing and you're creating your calorie deficit, and you are going to lose fat. It just takes patience, and you don't have to be so drastic in whatever you're trying to do. And I really truly think that a lot of people have trouble with their weight loss or fat loss journey because they think they have to do something crazy. And it's really quite basic. Just move your body consistently, work out, challenge yourself, take a look at what you're eating, try to eat healthier foods. If you like volume, try to find foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins that you can eat a lot of, but the calories are low. That's what I like to do. I like to eat a lot of food, but I need to find the right food so I can have that full plate. So it's just a lot of trial and error and experimentation. And if you need any help getting started with any of this, I am starting to take clients. So if you guys need any help getting started with your fitness, with your food, perhaps both, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my email in the description box below. Just reach out to me and hopefully I can help you out. In conclusion, for the vast majority of people, fitness alone with no regard to nutrition or sleep or stress management will not yield fat loss. I am a firm believer in the big picture. There is no one magic thing that you can do to burn the fat off your body. It is literally crafting a new lifestyle slowly and steadily. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, get your sleep, manage your stress to the best of your ability, and try so hard to have a positive mindset and a growth mindset through all of this. You're going to have challenges with this. You're going to have moments where you feel like you messed up, but you cannot get down on yourself for it. You have to think of it as a learning experience and grow from it and learn from it and move forward. Become a fighter. Get mad if you have to. That's what's happening with me lately. I get mad when things don't go my way, and then I just keep fighting for what I want. So you need to find that within yourself. If you guys have any additional questions, please put them in the comments below. I will answer any and all of your questions. If you learned something from this video and you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. Leave me a comment and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos about food, fitness, mindset, and helping you to live a long, healthy, and happy life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.